Earth project to the world.
Mm-hmm. Strict. Like
We're
this is
live on YouTube, guys.
okay. As the rest of the cast starts to hop in. Hey, Kyria.
Hello.
Hey, Kyria. Lakeisha.
Hey. No.
It was so good.
Came out good, right?
Yes. Kudos. Kudos to the cameramen and the people behind the scenes.
Yes.
Do what it do.
I was like, these boys better work.
Yes.
It was good. I was in here crying, y'all.
Me too.
It was really good.
Yes.
Yes.
And Lakeisha, I didn't know how tough you were. Like, I don't like her.
Wow. One of my ninth graders said everyone did an amazing job and the topics were on point. I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you. Everything was good. I was really, because I never seen the end. I was like, I like this now. It was good. I was
never saw the end.
Hey,
great job, Madre.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madre. Likewise.
I only got to see the whole thing.
You know what? Oh. Let's see. Come on in here.
Yeah, we said we'll give them to 8:30.
Okay. Oh, here comes.
Great job, Madre.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madre. Likewise.
I got to see the whole thing.
Good job, son.
Yeah, right.
Tariq, good job.
Yeah, Tyreke, the master man, the one
hey.
Camera. In front of the camera.
Hey.
Let me tell you, you got a lot of Roselle watching you, honey. I called the superintendent.
That's dope. That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
They saw you. Yeah.
It was really good. I was proud of everybody.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, son. I was crying at the end. Tears was dropping. I got the message.
Oh, you got the message, Mother?
I did. I got it.
No, that's good.
Yeah. But wait, I was like, dang, she talking to me. Am I that bad? When Liz was talking?
Yes.
I felt it. It was really
like,
and I felt at that moment like, dang, I'm a bad mother. Like And I'm not a bad mother.
Right. But isn't that something has a character? You feel it, you know? You do. You really do. It's deep. Yeah, I felt Alex, even though we did the best we could. Alex, you know, I felt it too. I get it, young lady. You know?
We did.
Yeah, it was good.
Let's see.
This was amazing. This was amazing. Dre, shout out to you, man.
Yes, good job, Dre.
Hey.
Very good.
Thank God,
all right.
man. Thank God.
We got some stuff already. We have a nice comment. Love the comment that's in there.
Okay. All right.
So,
so again, we're just gonna. Well, I'm sorry, Tamara. Tamara is the moderator tonight, and I'm gonna sit back and let Tamara do what she does.
Are you gonna let me do it?
I am because.
All right, because you know the writer, producer, director, you know, and the stars. Okay, here we go. So am I addressing it as if all people are here?
Is everybody on yet from the cast? Can you see?
No.
Oh, thank you. They said the entire cast were phenomenal. Okay.
Only 7 of us up here so far.
7. So we still are waiting for a few. Roosevelt, Tyler, and I think that's it, right? Roosevelt and Tyler.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 8, 9, 10 is one more. And Jasmine. All right, everybody reaching out?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And we are live on YouTube right now too, just so you guys know. It's already live on YouTube.
So everything that we're doing and saying is being recorded.
It's being recorded.
It's out to the masses.
We on YouTube?
Yes, right now.
We are live on YouTube right now.
Oh, all right.
You know what? Tamara, why don't we just go ahead and kick it off?
Okay.
Let's start it off.
Okay, so we're gonna do it as if everyone is here. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining tonight's premiere and showing of A-Dimond Entertainment's The Breakdown. We truly hope that you enjoyed everything that you've seen. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the amazing and talented cast of The Breakdown. So, to all my cast members, I just want you to know I'm going to introduce you by character, and I want you to give a brief synopsis of yourself. Okay. So we first going to start off with, and I don't see him yet, so we're going to move on to the next person. We're going to go with Mom Linda, played by none other than Lakeisha Jones.
Yes, hi, I'm Mom Linda. I was Tyreke's mom, definitely pushing my son to sell drugs, which some moms think that's a norm, but it's not really a norm. But that was something that we had to do at the time, based on I needed money. So, but I love my son, even though he may not think I love him, but I love him. Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome.
And now we're going to move on to Mom S, played by none other than Miss Daria Jones.
Hi, everybody. Yes, Mom S. Liz is my daughter. And I'm a young mother. I'm a young mother who experienced motherhood too young. And when I became of age, I wanted to experience my life. And in some way, I neglected my daughter. And but not intentionally. I love my child. And yeah, so it was just that I wanted to still experience life at my age at 29, you know. 29 is when we just reaching peak to live a full life, and I already had a 17-year-old child, so I want to be that party mom.
All right, well, thank you, Mom S. Now we're gonna move on to Mom Johnson, played by none other than Kyria Geneva.
Hey everybody, I'm Kyria Geneva. I play Mom Johnson, and that is Malik's mom. And she is just a mother who I feel is just full of guilt. She feels so bad that her son has to go and work overnight just to help to put food on the table. And you see her in the show at a point where she is just pretty much just saying, feeling guilty, and that her son has to go and almost do what parents have to do. And she feels guilty about it. And but she loves her son, and you can see that she encourages him. She keeps calling him young king, and that she loves him. So they have a really, really great relationship. I feel she just feels really bad at the moment that you see her, that her son has to work just as hard as her and can't focus on school and other things, can't focus on being a kid. So yeah, that's Mom Johnson.
All right. Well, thank you. Now we're going to move on to one other mother. Her name is Mom Rogers, played by none other than myself, Tamara Stewart. And Mom Rogers is basically the type of mother that, even though we were in the environment we were, I was trying my best to ensure that she was instilled with values and morals that would make her feel that your environment does not make who you are. Yet you can do so much more. You could be so much more than what your environment says you can be. So, but unfortunately, in pushing her to do that, I feel like my daughter took it way too far, where she became very condescending sometimes and kind of looked down on people. And I just wanted to correct that before it went any further, for her to understand that, baby, guess what? We just one decision from making the same type of decision that can put us in predicaments that other people are in. So that's basically who Mom Rogers is. She loves her daughter dearly, but she's not going to take no nonsense from her, but by being silly and acting silly towards people, even though, we could be in the same situation. So that's Mom Rogers. So now we're going to introduce to you some of our young people in the cast. We have, playing the role of Alex, my daughter, Miss Jasmine Darvi.
Hi guys, my name is Jasmine Darvin. I play Alex, I play the daughter. I play a student that is, she's very smart, and she thinks that she's above everyone else. I think that with the script, it was eye-opening for a lot of, well, for me, simply because I play a girl that is just thinks that she's just all that, and no one can tell her that she's not. Her mental and her morals and her ethics is on high standards because of what her parents have taught her. So she puts that all together, and she really wants to portray that. In order to portray that, if I want to become that, I need to be that. And if I have to think higher than others, then that's what I'm going to do. Not knowing that I'm putting people down. And it's like, even though Alex knows she's putting people down, she really doesn't. It's like all talk, but you're not doing anything. And I want to be better. So why not be better? That's how I play.
Thank you. Good point. So before we leave the parents, I want to introduce someone who played two roles. We have him as Dad S and Dad Rogers, none other than Mr. Roosevelt Abrams.
What's up, people? How you doing? What's going on? I guess we'll introduce myself. I'm Roosevelt Abrams. First dad, he's stuck in the 90s. Still thinks he's cool, got his swagger. And yeah, that's dad one. And dad two, he models himself after Bill Cosby, if I say so myself. He's the modern day Bill Cosby. I don't think I'm being conceited in saying that. But has a great relationship with his daughter, and like my play wife said, maybe we instilled a little bit too much confidence into her. But so we had to kind of, like I said, in everything there's a balance. So yeah, thank y'all for watching too, by the way.
Thank you. Now we'd like to go to another one of our young people in our play. Her name is Liz in the character, but in real life she goes by Nie Victoria.
Peace be with you, beloveds. My name is Nie Victoria. I play Liz. Liz is she is, one of the smartest students as with the others, but she's very misguided. She definitely did come from a home with her mother and father, which is very different from the way I grew up. I grew up only with my mom. What I definitely can relate to in Liz's character was that, her parents weren't there, aside from her parents working and her parents, partying and stuff. My mom was always at work. So I was kind of left to grow up on my own and learn things basically just by kind of getting into it. And I'm grateful for the script because it helped Liz to know that she needed to do better in life, that she knew that the way her parents were living wasn't a way that she wanted to live. And so she didn't have much guidance, but being that she was able to look outside of herself and see that the way her mom and dad grew up, she didn't want to, grow up like that. So thank you to everybody, that tuned in, and thank you so much, because we do this for students who are misguided. And, this generation is very much different than the way I grew up. It is so many influences. And I really do hope that a lot of younger people can definitely take something from this. So bless you all.
All right. Thank you, Liz. So now we're going to move to Mr. Tyreke, played by Tyreke Benjamin.
Yes, what's going on, good peoples? I am Tyreke Benjamin, playing the role of Tyreke. And what can I say about that guy? I guess he's just he's a good kid, he's a cool kid. He just playing with the cards he was dealt, if I can say that. Father, with his father being in jail, and his mother on his back, trying to get him out there, sell drugs, make the money, be more like his father, and even though in the back of his mind he knows that's not how he wants to live. Sadly, he realized it a little too late. But I hope to think that his life and the mistakes that he's made, is definitely going to help, I guess, the future of the characters in the show. So piggybacking on Nye, I'm definitely grateful for the script. I'm grateful to work with you guys. Grateful to everybody who tuned in tonight, and yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Now we're going to move to one of our stars as well. His name is Tyler Brooks in real life, but he played the wonderful sleeping one, Malik.
Good evening, everybody. Just like you said, my name is Tyler Brooks, and I had the absolute pleasure of playing young King Malik. It was an absolute pleasure getting this role, because I know it speaks the truth of a lot of people that went down this road. Malik is a young man that's willing to do anything for his family. Unfortunately, he's living under the circumstance of not living with the father. And thank God that he has a strong mother that can tell him that he is a king, that he has a purpose in life. And despite financial situations, Malik is pushing himself to the limit to try to make ends due, to help his mother out, and to help his family, and to help his mom take care of his little brother. So it was really, I took it as a responsibility to make sure I tell that story correctly, because it's not easy out here for certain people in different circumstances. So I had a fun time doing it.
Awesome. Very good. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Abrams. And this is your writer, your director, your producer, the mastermind and visionary of A-Dimond Entertainment, Mr. Andre Davis.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. First, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. This is another labor of love for me. Thank you to the cast. You guys were phenomenal. Alex, which was our camera guy, he did a great job shooting this and editing. So thank you, Alex. And then, of course, I have to thank the township of Maplewood. Anna, thank you so much for allowing me to have my piece in the virtual Black History Month, because it very much appreciated. Mr. Abrams is a teacher who cares about his students. He's a teacher that is not far removed from them, and he just wants to see them all succeed. And I'll leave that there. But really, I just want to thank everybody again for tuning in. This has been a very trying year with COVID, and to be able to still work and do our art is a blessing. So thank you guys.
All righty. We'd like to thank you for that. Now we're gonna start looking into the chat, and we're gonna start addressing some of the questions that are there. For those of you who have yet to enter any questions, please do so at this time, and we're gonna go through each one. We have Elaine Durback, and she's saying that was great, terrific characters, such real dialogue, very moving acting. Thank you. Made me worry about what kind of mother I am.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's very, very, very powerful right there.
Wow. Well, thank you
So,
for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in.
we have In Hawk. I hope I'm saying this right. The entire cast was phenomenal. The breakout discussions that this production would encourage with our youth is priceless and life-changing. As a school social worker, this is good, who has worked in a Philadelphia school district and now in Atlanta metro area, our youth need platforms like this to help them process their experiences and journey. Kudos to you. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you. Very, very nice comment.
Absolutely. Two questions. Okay, Elaine has two questions, but I guess we're gonna see it soon. Sherelle Hall says, amazing job by all. Very heartfelt, I'm sure. Performances by everyone. Brilliant scene at the end. Kudos, Mr. Davis.
Thank
Um,
you.
Here's
Thank
the
you.
two questions, I think. Seeing it tonight, was there anything you change? Mm.
So I'm a bit of a perfectionist, as the cast can tell you. So I'm always looking at things that can be changed, but very small changes. I don't know that they would. One thing that I do like to do with most of the projects that I work with is incorporate music. So I will probably incorporate a little bit more music throughout the piece, even if it's just like an undertone. Uh, but honestly, I think that the story is being told effectively, and I think again that the cast did a great job. So any changes that I would make would be very minute.
Okay. And thank you again, Mr. Hall, and to those above your comment, just to make sure I'm saying thank you to all. Here's the second question. Seeing it tonight, was there anything you would change? No, that's not. Okay. What are the next plans for taking this to a wider audience?
Very good question. So once we are out of COVID, and it's safe to travel again, we are planning to go into schools. The purpose of this was actually to use it for as an educational tool, but utilizing the arts. So the plan is to go back into schools. We are reaching out to superintendents, to principals, to educators as well, to travel with the piece. So that is the next goal, is to get back out there once it's safe to do so.
Mhm. Okay. Preeti Kanal gave us clapping hands. James Higgins gave us a 100, fire, fire. And then we have a question from Maplewood Township. Andre, can you talk a bit about why and when you thought about this story?
Yes. So the honestly, I work with a nonprofit out of Patterson called Epitome of Soul, and they reached out to me last year. Actually, no, 2019. They were looking for a piece that tackled substance abuse and gangs and bullying, to put it into some of the schools in Patterson as an educational tool. So that's why I wrote the piece. That didn't pan out at the time, but then we were blessed to go down to Coppin State University in Maryland and do the piece for those students. And like I said before, we are planning to go back out there once it's safe to reopen, or to travel again, I should say.
Okay.
But that was the premise behind it.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I think that's all we have in the chat at this time. Um, is there any closing remarks you would like to give?
So what I want to do is, because all of those questions were kind of geared towards me, I want to pose a question to each of the cast, and just talk I want to ask you guys what was the most challenging part of playing the characters that you played, and what part felt most familiar to you?
Okay, I'm gonna call your names out and then we're gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna go with Roosevelt.
I knew you were coming to me. I don't know why. I just felt that you were coming this way. Um, all right. Uh, and my parts were small, but hopefully effective. I say the most challenging would be, and this is for people who know me. The most challenging would have been for the first dad, the '90s hip hop dad, not going too far and being like making it too funny and too much of a character, but kind of trying to stay like as realistic as possible. Because there are parents out there like that are caught back and trying to live their best life and still trying to live their youth. The one I could relate to is probably definitely the latter father, the father of Alex. Just because I have kids and I have a good relationship with my kids, and I'm just talking to them and stuff like that, and just being present, and my kids love the tic tac line. So, but yeah, so that's my answer to the question.
Thank you. But we do have a question in a statement in the chat that I want to read real quick. By N Hawk again. When bringing this production into the schools, I will also recommend that schools have their counselors and mental health professions on standby in preparation of anything that may stir up with students.
So
Very good suggestion.
that's a very good suggestion. And actually, so this is not the first piece that I've taken to schools for educational purposes. My first play, the number one urban stage play, Man of the House, we use that as domestic abuse education. And then when we do go into the schools, we do join up with their counselors, so that we can do talkbacks afterwards with the students, with not just the actors, but the counselors that are on staff. So, yep, that's a very good suggestion, and we are doing that.
Mhm. We have another one from the Maplewood Township. From the Q&A, I'm watching you guys at the discussion. I can't comment. Not sure why, but hell, y'all. Hey, y'all. Great job. Awesome job, director and cast. Love y'all. I had my son, 15-year-old, watching, and he said, I learned that everyone has troubles, and we need to be there for one another. Keep the movement going. Miss y'all. Be well.
Nice, nice.
We have from Lisa Minardi. So great to see the finished piece. Entertaining, but more important, informative. Very important messages that need to be spread far and wide. From
And
Tears Hall, we have that was tears. I can comment now, LOL. So I take it she was crying too.
I just want to shout out Lisa Minardi, because Lisa was very pivotal in us being able to get into Maplewood. She was the connection. I spoke with her at the office, and when I explained to her what the premise of the show was, she actually put me in touch with the director. So, Lisa, thank you very much.
Thank you, indeed. Okay, now we're going to go back to the cast until we get some more, if we get any more questions. Back to the cast. So now I'm going to call on Tyreke. You're on mute.
Yes, I'm back. I guess the hardest part, um, about playing Tyreke was just that making sure the audience felt all my emotion, um, making sure, I wanted to be relatable. I wanted the audience, or people watching, to understand where I was coming from, why I did certain things, or why I acted a certain way. And yeah, I guess, and the most relatable part would I guess the most relatable part, being that I'm one of the youngest in the cast, was that I was a student. Um, Other than that, this was definitely a fun role to tackle. So it was all around. It was fun, and I'm glad I had the opportunity.
All right. Now we're going to pose the question to Kyria Geneva.
I guess one of the most difficult parts for me is just making sure that I am portraying a mother well. I'm naturally not a mother. I don't have any children naturally, but I do have nieces and nephews and things like that. So I just wanted to make sure that any mother watching would be able to relate to my character. I think that's the job of every actor. When the audience sees, can someone in the audience relate to you? So I guess the difficult part was, making that connection that mothers have to their children. But then the most relatable is, Malik is my son. So I had to look at him, just because I don't have children. I looked at him more of, how would I speak to my nephew or my younger cousin? So yeah, that was the most relatable part.
All right. We're going to move right beside you. I don't know if you can see it beside you, but Daria Jones.
Okay, what was the question? What was the most challenging and what was most relatable or effective?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most challenging part was, I would say, because by nature, I am just a nurturer, and having to try to quote unquote more so be my child's friend. And if you know me, I don't believe adults and children are friends. I'm the adult. I said what I said, and that's that. But I would say that probably was the most challenging part, because I do want to be like the nurturing person, and relatable, I would just say, like, working in education, I have seen this mother time and time again. I have, so I have experienced her on the other side, which is, definitely, I could understand how Liz felt, and having to put myself on the other side, being that mother that I've seen working in education. So, yeah.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Lakeisha Jones, you're next.
Okay. The hardest part of playing the character Linda was just putting my son, someone that I birthed, in harm's way, sending them, out in the streets, with no protection, anything like that. That was one of the hardest things for me to play, because I'm the opposite mom. I'm that mom that loved my child and do anything for my child and would never ever put my child in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? So just by me playing that character, it was hard for me, but I had to convince, the audience that this is how some moms are. You know what I'm saying? This is reality. So it's not something that's make believe, it's reality. It's some parents that feel like, listen, I just want what I want. I don't care who get it for me or whatever the case may be. Like, listen, your father did it, you're going to do it. You're going to be a reflection of your father. You know what I mean? So that was, I don't know, but I definitely can't relate to it, because that's not a, different, I'm not that type of parent. But I enjoy playing Linda. I enjoy Tyreke being my son, and he's a phenomenal actor. Everybody in the play is amazing. And when I saw the play, like, you just don't know, I was crying, everything, because we brought it. Not to toot out, my horn or whatever, but we bought it. And I'm so grateful for Dre and T and everybody for just having the opportunity to be in the breakdown. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to call on Jasmine Darvi.
Woo, these questions. The hardest part for me, I will definitely say, is I am far from 17 years old. So to tap into that 17-year-old Jasmine back then, I never acted like that. I didn't have friends that acted superior or, better than anyone. We all stuck together. So I really had to honestly talk to my younger siblings, because I'm the oldest of 6. So talk to my younger siblings and really ask them, like, how do you guys used to act, when you're 17, or what used to happen then, and what, certain things. And I kind of was able to tap into that. The second hardest thing was I got that script 2 weeks before everything was supposed to happen. And I was like, freaking out at the same time. every day practicing, every day, noon, night, morning, eating breakfast, eating dinner. I'm still going over the script. So it was challenging, but I think once I got into the building and got into character and with the script and with Tyler, thank you so much. He was one of the guys that we were in the dressing room, like going with these lines. Gotta do this. We gotta do this. So I really appreciate that. Relatable. I can't relate. My mom, I did my best when it came to, like, you know, growing up in the upbringing she instilled in me, and it wasn't nothing pressuring. I didn't feel like I had to go back to school or to my friends or family and feel like I'm better than you, and or be disrespectful in the way I was with my parents in the script when they, you know, when it came to like, oh, she's ghetto. And I don't like saying that because everyone comes from different walks of life, and to judge based off of that for me is wrong. But it wasn't relatable, but it was definitely challenging. So I enjoyed it. Thanks, Trey.
Yes, kudos to you for that 2-week turnaround. Awesome job. Awesome job. Now we're going to go to Nie Victoria.
Hello, beloveds again. First of all, thank you, Dre, again for this amazing opportunity. This is one script that is really dear to my heart, just for the simple fact is I have a teenage son and I have a nephew. And, you know, I just think about the different struggles that they go through. And, you know, it's hard for this generation. Like I said, again, I won't say that the script was hard. The only thing that differs is like, I'm not a mean person. Like, I'm a really, really nice, caring person. Like, so when I was being mean to Jazz, you know, I'm not like that. So I thank God for the opportunity that I was able to, you know, portray it to the best of, you know, the ability that he gave me. I can say it was really relatable because, like I said, my mom was always at work. I have a twin sister, and we always went to parties. That's all we ever did. I thank God we didn't drink and smoke at that age, but we were always at parties. So to, you know, be, you know, like live and like mad energy, that's how I am naturally, just not mean. But I just do thank everybody in the cast because, like, you know, doing it and traveling and praying to God that so many doors open so that people can see this message and that these kids could, you know, see that they're not alone and that people go through this. And I pray that Dre's message, you know, that it changes lives, it changes generations from generations to come. And so I thank everybody on the cast because, like, you know, we became like a little family. So just praying for so many doors to open for Andre. I think he's an amazing director, writer, producer, actor. And yeah, I'm hoping it grows. So thank you again for the opportunity. And the pleasure is definitely all mine to be a part of something so groundbreaking.
Thank you. Thank you. We just had another question, but get ready, Tyler. We have another question in the chat. To the cast, did you know who your character would be when you first auditioned? If not, now that you know all the characters, what other character might you have considered other than the one you played, and why?
Oh my gosh, can I answer it?
Let me give you a high five, Miss Nook. Let me give you a high five, Miss Hook. Yes. Oh, nice question. Okay.
Very good question.
At this point, whoever wants to jump out, unmute yourself, but make sure that you're not crossing somebody else. Okay.
Does anybody want to go first?
Make sure it's brief because we have to keep moving.
I'm gonna go first. When I auditioned, I didn't know, and I auditioned for two parts. I did Mom S and Linda, and I ended up the very first time this play premiered, I ended up playing both moms. So what was the second part of the question? Would I change the characters? I'm actually glad I don't have to play Linda. And I love my character. I really, really love my character because the other side of me is I'm a party girl. But yeah, I'm glad I don't have to play Linda anymore because that Linda was very heartbreaking for me. And you know, but yeah, so yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else want to jump on this question?
Yeah, actually, when I was actually parking my car and walking home, I was actually saying Linda's lines in my head. And I was like, I would have loved to try to, play her character. She just reminded me of Cookie from like, the Empire. It was just how she was so like, it didn't matter. Like, get this money and that's it. That's all that matters. So, and Lakeisha, you played the heck out of the character as well.
Thank you, Na.
Awesome job. Anybody else would like to tackle this question?
Yeah, for me. Oh, go ahead, bro. That's all you. Well, okay. Well, I guess for me, I knew from the jump I wanted the role of Tyreke, because our names, of course, sounded the same. But if I had to change roles, I probably would go for Mr. Abrams' spot.
All right.
Just because I feel like I can bring a different dynamic to that teaching role. I don't know.
Love it. Anybody else?
Go ahead, Rob.
Go ahead, Rob.
No, I would just like to say, I love my two roles that I was. The only other role I would have been, and I did audition for, was Mr. Abrams, because that is my last name in the real life, and in the previous life, I believe I wanted to be a teacher. So at some point in my life, I did have aspirations of being a teacher. So I would have liked to try to actually play that role. But I love my roles and I love what I do. So thank you, Dre. Thank y'all for watching again.
Thank you. Jasmine, go ahead. Your turn.
I actually like my role. Alex is cool. Like, I like it. But Mr. Abrams, only because I am an educator. I teach pre-K. I've taught 3 to 5, and now I'm teaching infant and toddlers. When I was teaching at Cicely L. Tyson Elementary School in East Orange, I had a lot of the kids that were like in 3rd and 4th grade that were going through being bullied and trying to feel accepted and having these made up gangs that, they were just made up and try to fit in. And so I can actually see when I saw his role, and as he was, doing his part, I was like, oh my God, there were so many times I was at my classroom and the girls would come to me wanting to talk, or I would see certain things and want to point it out before it got bad. So Mr. Abrams' part, I was like, I can definitely do his part. No problem. FYI, no.
Awesome. Anybody else want to tackle it? Okay, good. I'm going to tackle it real quick because I too wanted to play Mr. Abrams' part. Why? Because I am a Miss Abrams in a junior high school. So if any of my babies are watching, Miss Stewart was Miss Rogers that was on the stage. So they know, I'm a no nonsense, but I love to have fun, love to enjoy it. But education. You know how I feel about education. Then after that, I'm going to give you a little tough love, but I'm going to give you a hug after all that good stuff, but that's one thing I got to say I can truly relate to. And that's one character I really would love to have played, because that's just who I was anyway, who I am in real life. But I must say he did all right job. Mr. Abrams did all right job. He was okay. So we got to give him a little bit. All right. Just this one time. Don't get happy. All right. So now anybody else would like to hit this question as well before we turn it back? Now, let me say this. Anyone else who's in the chat, the other attendees that are here, please pop your questions in there. We're still taking questions for a little bit longer. Let us know if you have a comment, anything. Just keep them coming, because we love them. We love them. Now we're going back to the cast. Anybody else want to? Oh, we got Lakeisha, right? You didn't say nothing.
Yes, I was going to say I love my character Linda, but I might have wanted to audition for Mama Johnson, because I'm a little caring mom. I love my children or my child or whatever. So I like Mama Johnson character as well, but I really love my Linda characters. So I'm glad that I auditioned for that, and I'm glad that I played it, and I was a believable character. But that's it.
It was absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, and Kyria, thank you for bringing out Mom Johnson. Kudos. Really good job.
I just want to say real quick that I guess I'm glad that I did the casting. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a job based on what everybody's saying tonight.
Yeah, you're right. We all done took that job. Sorry.
You know what? Y'all might get it real fast too, very soon, sooner than later.
Uh-oh. Oh, did y'all hear that? That's another casting call for all of us. Get ready. All of us who want to be Mr. Abrams, get ready. Okay. All right. All right. So I don't think there's any new questions in the chat right now. So we're gonna go to our baby Denzel. Yes, we are nicknaming him Baby Denzel. His name is Tyler Brooks. With the question that was posed prior to, was it a challenge? Was some things you can relate to as your character? Go.
Okay, the nickname is too funny, by the way. But I think the most difficult part about playing Malik was studying the script and making it my own, because as we all know, we're introduced to Malik very slowly. You know, we don't really know Malik until the second day, because we're introduced to Malik sleeping, because he's tired from what he does outside of school. So we don't really get to know Malik until the second day, and then we understand why he's sleeping and his struggle. And so once we find out his struggle and his story, just taking that script and, like, making my actions tired, explaining who I am, why am I a king, why my mother taught me to feel this way, to think this way, to walk this way, just to understand that and make that story my own. That was something that really took some time for me to navigate. And also, this COVID situation is crazy, and being on that stage as we filmed, and just not having an audience out there as we perform this play, that kind of is like a bummer, because it's nothing like having an audience out there. But we're always grateful to have the opportunity just to have a virtual audience. But that was something that was a little bummer, just to be on that stage and not having an audience. But yeah, and something that we can relate to. I feel like everybody can relate to Malik some way, somehow. It's just Malik's circumstances are much, worse than he's at one of the worst situations. But everybody has been tired being in school. Everybody has been around, and especially in our younger days, an environment where people in school may feel like, if you're tired, take this drug. This can help you. Kids, teenagers these days, like, we are surrounded by drugs, and that people use that as an outlet to make ourselves feel better, to help ourselves out in different situations. So there's many different things that we can take from Malik's life and say, oh yeah, I've been there before, or yeah, I've experienced that, or I've heard somebody go through that same thing. So Malik's story really touches a lot of lives in many different angles, and I'm just hopeful that I was able to portray that character the right way to touch those lives and tell their story.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's go over to okay, there's no new questions at this time. So, Mr. Andre Davis, I hand it over to you.
All right. Well, again, I want to thank everybody for signing on to watch this tonight. Again, I want to thank the cast on an amazing performance. Like Tyler just said, it was very challenging taping through COVID, but we all extremely professional. We came in, we did our jobs, and I'm extremely happy with the finished product, and I hope that you guys are as well. With that, I have to thank again Maplewood Township for allowing the play to be incorporated into their virtual Black History Month. Um, yes, absolutely. And I want you guys to save the date. So next Saturday, another of my one act stage plays entitled "Is This What We Paid For?" premieres next Saturday, February the 13th at 7:30. So we want to invite you guys to come back to watch that, and then myself and that cast will participate in a Q&A after that show as well. So we hope to see you guys next Saturday as well. This particular piece will be up, I believe they said, for the next 5 days before it comes down. So if you know someone who was not able to see it tonight, but you think it would benefit them, it will be up for the next few days before it gets taken down next Saturday. Okay, and the link is there for next Saturday as well. Um, and that's all I got. Thank you guys again. I'm just extremely appreciative and grateful.
Oh, real quick, we have another comment. You guys, right? This is from Maplewood Township. You guys rock. It was a pleasure to have you as part of the township programming. Then Pretty says, you all were terrific, very talented. Thank you so much for such powerful performances. So give it up to you guys. And before we end everything, at least to, just say thank you. I'd like to thank Anna for hanging in there. I see Anna still there, Anna D. We have Elaine D, James H, Jarrell H, Lisa Minardi, N Hawk, and Pretty. So thank you guys for hanging in there the whole time for us and giving us questions and comments. We really appreciate you and hope to see you next week too.
And Tamara, thank you for moderating.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Very good job.
Did you guys hear that? I heard a raise. I think I heard a raise.
I heard a raise.